My boys. My boys. My boys. We got an issue here, ladies and gentlemen. We have an issue. Hey, how's it going, everyone? This is the Anime Man, and we have an issue. We've got an issue. So for those of you who don't know, for the last week or so, Crunchyroll, that anime streaming service that takes care of me, thank you Crunchyroll, decided to do this thing called the 2016 Anime Awards. It's kind of like the Golden Globes or the Emmys or the Oscars of anime of 2016. They have a number of categories from Anime of the Year, Hero of the Year, Best Girl, Best Boy, Best Opening, Most Heartwarming Scene, Best Animation, the list goes on. And from there, they pick out a bunch of nominees, and it is fan voted. So, us, the viewers, or you guys, you go onto the website and you vote for what the winners are. And well, today, Crunchyroll just announced the winners of all of the categories except for Anime of the Year. And well, my boys, we've got a problem. You know, I've never really liked award shows. I've never really liked the Golden Globes or the Oscars or the Emmys because, I mean, like, it's like a bunch of people just coming together to pretty much say what the most popular shit was of that year. But in my philosophy with any kind of art medium, whether it be games, movies, music, anime, manga, whatever the hell it may be, popular does not equal good. And so it's not that I have a problem with Crunchyroll's choice of anime for the nominees. I mean, I do, but I'll give you guys a break for just a second. No, today I'm gonna be raging more about what everybody else decided to choose as the winners for each of these categories. Everyone's at fault here. Crunchyroll's at fault, but we're also at fault as well. So today in this video, we're gonna go through each of the nominees, see what won, and then I'll give you guys my thoughts on who or which series I think should have won each one and why. Mind you guys that these are completely my opinions, and if you completely agree with what the winners are, then all the more power to you. I'm sure you're having a fucking field day today. But I, for one, am in a situation where I woke up the next morning for the field day, and I have a massive fucking case of gonorrhea. Like, I am not fucking happy with what's happened right here, and I'm gonna let my rage out today in front of you guys. By the way, if you'd like to check out any of these nominations and or, like, awards, like actual results, then I'll leave the link to the website in the description so you can follow along with me. We'll leave Anime of the Year for now because I have a lot to say about that just in general. Now let's start off with Hero of the Year. Now this one I was actually okay with because the winner was Deku from Boku no Hero Academia, which is fitting. It's a hero anime. Hero of the Year has hero in the title. I'm okay with that. But what I couldn't understand was the second place getter, which was really, really freaking close, by the way, and that was Fujinuma Satoru from Erased. Motherfucker, he ain't no hero. He's a self-righteous hero, like, in his own mind, probably, but we have to remember that he's also fucked up a lot of people, you know, by going through all of this. I wouldn't exactly label him as a hero, let alone placed under Mob from Mob Psycho 100. Like, how the fuck does Satoru beat a guy who literally looks like One Punch Man with hair? The next one is Villain of the Year, and this one, again, is the perfect example of popularity does not equal good. Now, I'm not going to say it in case of spoiler reasons, but it's the villain from Erased, who, if you guys have seen Erased, then you'll know who it is. But if you've never seen Erased, let me tell you right now, he's a pretty shitty villain. Especially in the last couple of episodes, he really shows out his shitty side. And I don't mean his evil side, I mean his shitty side as in he's a shit character. Only losing by about 500 votes, this was really, really close, was Kira from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, who honestly, out of all of these nominations, I think should have won. Now, I'm not caught up to JoJo per se, but I do know who Kira is as a character, and honestly, as a villain, he is way better than the villain of Erased. Let's be real, the villain of Erased was the entire series itself. Also, before I move on, can I just mention that in almost every single nominee, they had at least one thing, or as a series, Kabaneri of the Iron Fortress. I said in my seasonal roundup that I actually preferred Kabaneri over Attack on Titan, but still, it's like Crunchyroll really, really wants me to watch Kabaneri of the Iron Fortress. Or rather wants everybody to watch Kabaneri of the Iron Fortress because of the Attack on Titan hype. And again, I'm not saying that Kabaneri is necessarily terrible, but it's not fantastic. And honestly, chucking in Biba as a nominee for worst villain, mind you, probably one of the worst characters in the show, Not a good idea. What about Betelgeuse from Re:Zero? I thought he was a fucking awesome villain. Unique character, pretty fucking creepy, and he did some terrible things in the show. Another contender for Villain of the Year would have been Sato from Ajin. That guy is an evil motherfucker. To me, it seems like the people who chose these nominations only watched like the top 5 most popular ones, and then every now and then slipped in a kind of underdog to kind of give the hint of like, yeah, we watched a lot of anime this year. But clearly they didn't, because there are so many like obvious nominees that didn't make it in any of these awards. And it's not just Villain of the Year, you're about to see a lot more as we continue on, so let's do that. Next up is Best Boy, and this is the start of a pattern that I am really not happy with. The winner, surprise surprise, was Yuri Katsuki from Yuri on Ice. Best Pussy? Yeah, I'll give him that. Best Boy? Okay, all homo jokes aside, I have my thoughts on Yuri on Ice. I'm saving a lot of it for my double seasonal roundup, which I am still making, by the way. That bitch is just taking 90,000 days to edit. But I'm just gonna say right now, Yuri Katsuki is an overrated character. If it wasn't for the yaoi aspect, and if it wasn't for the fact that he's a main character, he would be fucking boring. And if we're just sticking to the nominees, then my vote would have gone to either Arataka Reigen from Mob Psycho, or Deku from My Hero Academia. They also had Yakumo from Rakugo Shinju, which again is like what I said before, it's like slipping in that underdog series to be like, hey, we know about anime, guys. Now, mind you, I haven't seen Rakugo Shinju, but I've only heard the most amazing things about it, so I can see why it is up there. But this award of Best Boy is just a perfect example of popularity is always going to be the winner in these kinds of award shows. It's not about how good it is, it's about how popular it is. Have I triggered enough Yuri on Ice fans? Alright, let's move on. Alright, next up we have Best Girl, which is a very dangerous minefield to tread into, Crunchyroll. You know how defensive we get about our waifus. And again, surprise surprise, the winner was Ram from Re:Zero. I mean, was there even any competition? Personally speaking, I preferred Beatrice in Re:Zero, but that's just me. But one nominee I couldn't fucking believe was there was Nico from Kiznaiva. Did you watch Kiznaiva? Okay, you did watch Kiznaiva. Okay, then maybe it didn't go through your head that Nico is one of the most annoying fucking characters in the show. You could have chosen this girl, or even this girl. They were all better than Nico. And again, throwing in Mume from Cabaneri. You guys really love your Cabaneri, don't you? I mean, I will admit, Mume was pretty fucking cute. Even though she did become a disastrous damsel in distress by the back end of the series, I digress. Again, Rem winning Best Girl, everybody saw it coming, everybody likes Rem, it's become a meme now. Moving on. Next up is Best Fight Scene, and the winner was Shigeo vs Koyama from Mob Psycho 100. Now, I'm kinda mixed about this. I'm happy that Mob Psycho won because, in my opinion, it did have the best fight scenes. But within Mob Psycho 100, I don't think this was the best fight scene. In all honesty, my favorite fight, for a number of reasons in that show, was Teruki versus Mob. That fight was not only iconic, but it also was a big turning point in the story, and we also got to see that really cool bit with Mob. I won't spoil it in case you guys haven't seen it. And again, we have another fucking Cabaneri fight. Why? Is it the hype for Attack on Titan Season 2, Crunchyroll? I don't get it. What I am kind of happy and sad about at the same time, though, is that one of the nominees was a particular fight scene from Iron-Blooded Orphans, the Gundam series. Happy because, oh, they put in Iron-Blooded Orphans, and I haven't caught up to Iron-Blooded Orphans. I've seen a few episodes of it, and it's already pretty fucking awesome. Like, you don't even have to be a Gundam fan. I'm not exactly a Gundam fan, but from what I've seen, Iron-Blooded Orphans is pretty good so far. But I'm also sad because it got, like, less than 1,000 votes, so yeah, thanks guys. Up next we have Best Animation, and oh boy, ooh, the saltiness became real when I saw this one, because guess who won? I'll give you the nominees. There was, again, Cabaneri of the Iron Fortress. I understand that one. It's made by Silverlink Studios, same studio that did Attack on Titan, and the animation is pretty good, I won't deny that. Mob Psycho 100, fucking fantastic animation. Colors are vivid, everything is so vivid, and just, it was great. It was really unique. Flip Flappers, I never saw Flip Flappers, but from the little footage that I did see, the animation is super, super impressive. And then Yuri on Ice, of course it fucking won by a landslide. Oh, who am I kidding? By the way, just the whole thing about Yuri on Ice has fantastic animation. I just think is, how should I say this kindly? Fucking bullshit. Yuri on Ice had okay animation. Just because they dedicated the ice skating scenes to actual real life choreography and footage of ice skating doesn't make it the best animation in the world. I'm not only pissed about the fact that Yuri on Ice won because it's, again, popular, but it's just the fact that even within the nominees, all 3 other nominees have better animation than Yuri on Ice does. Cabernetti, the fight scenes are fucking amazingly choreographed. Mob Psycho 100, such vivid animation and colors. Flip Flappers looks like a fucking art project. But what I am most salty about is the fact that there wasn't a single Kyoto animation series that was nominated. Where was Hibike Euphonium? That shit was like cocaine for your eyes. Where was Kiznaiva? Again, Trigger Studios are known for their amazing animation, and they did have amazing animation. As much as the series sucked, where is Musaigen no Phantom World? That had Kyoto animation polish up to the ass. Again, it's like Crunchyroll only watched like 5 series and then maybe saw like a few like good looking gifs from all the other underrated stuff that they didn't watch and was like, yeah, we'll chuck that in just to please the elitists. The thing is, you're not even pleasing the elitists. You're not elitist enough, bro. Like, not only are the elitists pissed off, but even some of the plebs are kind of pissed off as well. Nobody wins Crunchyroll, except for the thirsty yaoi lovers. They're having a time of their lives. Alright, let's move on to most heartwarming scene. And again, guess who fucking won? It's the most overrated series of the year! Hey, yaoi fandom, just let me hear for a second. Just because this yaoi ship that you guys have been shipping from the first episode finally became canon around the 7th episode, that doesn't make it heartwarming! And it wasn't even like a good yaoi kiss either. It's like, it's so like whatever, they kissed. I've seen plenty of yaoi series that did better, more romantic, dramatic kisses than that. And I don't mean to hate on Yuri on Ice the whole time, but I mean, I watched it. And again, I'm saving most of my thoughts and like opinions about it on the double seasonal roundup, but just, it was so hard to find anything good about that show. At least the 2nd place getter, which I think out of all the nominees should have won, is Kaio's first home-cooked meal, the scene from Erased. Like, that scene was at a point in Erased where everybody, including myself, was super into the show. Everyone was like, oh shit, like this is, oh my god. I feel you, Kaio. My girl, I feel you. And as much as I think Erased did go to shit, I still think back to that scene, and honestly, it is still very heartwarming. The presentation in that scene was brilliant. Regardless of what kind of fetish or fandom you are into, I think everybody looked at that scene and was like, oh. But the kiss was just, it was shock factor more than anything. It wasn't heartwarming because 2 guys kissed. I'm not being homophobic here, guys. Trust me, like, it's not that I don't like the yaoi. I've seen so much yaoi, and there are so many better kiss scenes than the one in Yuri on Ice. I'm just saying, maybe we need to take the foot off the accelerator on the Yuri on Ice bus for just a second. Yeah, I get it, it's popular. Yeah, I get it. It revolutionized yaoi canon shippings in anime, even though it fucking didn't. But still, let's look at the other shows, because there were a lot of other good shows this year, guys. Alright, next up, we're moving to Drama of the Year, and oh my god, I don't see Yuri on Ice. Now, in all seriousness though, again, this one was kind of mixed feelings. The winner was Erased. Now, out of the nominees, I honestly think the winner should have been either Showa Genroku Rakugo Shinju or Kiznaiva. But since I don't have a strong opinion about Rakugo Shinju and I've only heard that it's an amazing drama series, I can't really say a whole lot about it. I honestly would have put 91 Days in there as well. That was a fantastic, it was more of a crime drama, but it still had dramatic elements in it. Just for the sake of it, I would have put maybe Real Life in there as well. There were a lot of dramatic scenes in that. Some heavy subject matter was discussed in that show as well. So I definitely labeled that as a drama as well. So yeah, I would have maybe given Erased Drama of the Year if it didn't fuck up in the last couple episodes and just ruin everything for me. But out of the nominees, I would have either given it to either Kiznaiva or Showa Genroku. I probably would have given it, if I had watched Showa Genroku, then I probably would have given it to Showa Genroku, so I think Showa Genroku should have won. The next one is Best Couple, and this is just a shitstorm of retarded. I mean, do I even have to say who won? Honestly. And then there are just some nominees which I don't quite understand. Satoru and Kaio from Erased. I don't think the people who decide on these nominees understands that, they were never a couple. In fact, Satoru received the biggest cuck of 2016. And then we had Katsuhira and Sonozaki from Kiznaiva. Again, kinda shaky. That part of the story of Kiznaiva was kinda weak, and it kinda ended anticlimactically. It was like, oh, now they're together just because drama, forced drama, yeah. And then there was Luluka and Nova from Space Patrol Luluko. That was another series that, again, I'd never seen. But from the clips that I did see, it seems like the most legit one, so I probably would have given it that. Honestly, I'm trying to think about it, and I can't really think of a series that has, like, a good couple, like a well-established, well-built couple that I can think about and be like, yeah, that was a pretty good couple. So yeah, I don't know, I'm up in the airs for this one. Next up we have Best Comedy, and I think this is the only one that I was actually happy about, because the winner was Sakamoto desu ga, which I think is not only the best comedy of 2016, but is probably one of the funniest anime series I had ever seen. Followed in with a close second of Konosuba, which again, I fucking loved. It's hilarious. Hyped for season 2. And then the third entry was Keijo. If you mean funny as in like the entire series was a joke, then yeah, I can see why it's a comedy. But yeah, I got nothing to say on this one. I'm just really happy that Sakamoto desu ga won, and Konosuba was a really, really close second. You did well for once, anime community. Next up is Best Action, and again, this is another one that I am actually quite happy with, because the winner was Mob Psycho 100, which I think, again, had some of the best fucking action in 2016. Followed by My Hero Academia, which again, very easily noticeable, and then Drifters, which I was really, really happy to see was even nominated, because the action in that show was pretty decent. And then of course they had to chuck in Cabanetti again, because why not? To be fair though, Cabanetti did have good action, it just wasn't a good story. Again, not too many complaints about this one. And then we're moving on to Best Opening. Now, I'm kinda disappointed about this one, because the winner was, of course, We Were Born to Make History. Now look, I actually really like the Yuri on Ice opening, but can we just, again, take the foot off the Yuri on Ice machine for just a second and remember the Kiznaiva opening? That opening was fucking awesome. Like, honestly, one of the most beautiful, vivid, just boom boom satellites. It just goes perfectly with that show. That song was banging, that opening animation was banging, everything about that show. It was one of the few openings that I never skipped. It was a fucking great opening, and it wasn't even nominated. You nominated Nico for Best Girl, and yet you didn't nominate Kiznaiva for Best Opening? What the fuck? And not just Kiznaiva, what about the first opening to ReZero? I fucking love that song, dude. It's so rocking, it's so raw and raunchy, it's like, oh, it's so fucking good. And again, that wasn't even nominated. And then we have the Best Ending, which again, I am really fucking pissed off about, because of course, Yuri on motherfucking Ice won again. I don't even remember the ending. Does anybody remember the ending? I think the hype for the opening was so pushed to its limit. I don't think anybody remembers the ending to that, do you? Like, if I told you right now, without looking it up, to sing the ending of Yuri on Ice, I bet you like 70% of you guys probably wouldn't be able to sing it at all. But of course that one, because apparently popular equals good. And then all the other ones as well were just kind of fucking weak. Mob Psycho 100, yeah, that ending was okay. Cabanetti of the Iron Fortress, I don't fucking remember it. Space Patrol Ludico, I don't know, I haven't seen that one. But what about like Assassination Classroom Season 2 ending? That was a really beautiful song. But what about the ReZero ending? Everyone was so hyped for that ending. That was one of the few examples of this year where the people loved the ending more than the opening, even though I personally prefer the opening. But still, the ending was a great track. That wasn't even nominated. So yo, the Crunchyroll 2016 Anime Awards, it wasn't the fucking Anime Awards, it was the Yuri on Ice Awards, it was the Popular Awards. And look, hear me out, Crunchyroll, I fucking love you guys, and I am not blaming you guys for anything here. I'm not blaming you guys for the nominees, I'm not blaming you guys for your reasoning behind all the nominees. The more problem is the fact that you made people, like fans, like regular viewers, vote on the winners. When I first heard about the Anime Awards, I thought it was something like awesome. I'd be like, whoa, there's like an anime like awards show. Like we'd never seen, especially like a big company like Crunchyroll doing anything like this. So I thought it was really, really cool. And honestly, I don't mind it if next year for 2017, you do it again. But I honestly don't think it's a good idea to get like people, like regular viewers, voting on it per se, because it's gonna run into the problem of only the most popular shows are going to win. And again, just because it's popular, it doesn't mean that it's a good show. I think what would be kind of cool though is if like next year they, for example, like they have like the awards, like the, I guess the People's Choice Awards. That would be the better words to put it. The People's Choice Awards for each of the nominations, but then they also get like a bunch of like actual like, you know, maybe industry professionals or maybe like, you know, anime YouTubers. I'm not saying you should get me to vote for the next anime awards, but you know. No, in all seriousness though, I think it'd be kind of cool to maybe get like, kind of form like the Academy, like what they have in like, you know, the Oscars and all that kind of stuff, and like actually get like a bunch of like industry professionals, you know, from the actual anime industry, or for voice actors, or for actual like proper critics and reviewers, and see what they think is the winner for each of the categories. And then on top of that, do the same thing as you did with the 2016 awards, but just label it as the People's Choice Awards for each of the nominations, and then maybe compare the two. It'd be kind of cool to see what the people think, but then what also the industry professionals think about it as well. But yeah, that's gonna do it for my thoughts and opinions on the Crunchyroll Anime Awards for 2016. Honestly, I don't even have to like look at who's gonna win Anime of the Year. Just by seeing all the other nominations, I mean, I think we all know who's gonna win. It's gonna be Yuri on Ice. Maybe by freak chance it might be ReZero. In all honesty, I want ReZero to win. If I could choose any anime to be Anime of the Year, for me personally, it would either be ReZero or Mob Psycho 100. That's my choices. But, I mean, the fact that Yuri on Ice is there, and Yuri on Ice took home, what, like 5, maybe 6 awards? Almost half of the awards. It's gonna win Anime of the Year. It's the hype train still going, and it's obviously going to win. But that's enough of my elitist bitching and ranting. Let me know what you guys think about each of the awards. Did you think that each of the series that did win each of the awards deserve to win? Do you think other shows deserve to win? And if Crunchyroll decides to do another anime awards, what do you think is like a nice way to, I guess, improve it? I think they did say that they did want to hear feedback about like the awards show, just to make it like better for next year. So, you know, there you go, Crunchyroll. Just look in the comments of this video. Hopefully my community will give you some good advice. They're usually pretty good at that. And hey, since I love the folks over at Crunchyroll so much, why don't you go over there and support them if you haven't, by trying out a free premium membership of Crunchyroll by going to crunchyroll.com/animeman. I mean, hey, Crunchyroll wanted you to check out the same 5 series so much, so why don't you go over to Crunchyroll with my premium membership and give it a go. See what you think about the series if you already haven't seen it. Anyways, guys, next anime rant is gonna be like a proper, more analytical one, so I hope to see you guys there. Thanks for watching. As always, like and favorite if you enjoy, subscribe from Anime Banner, and I'll see you guys next video, whatever I make. Keep watching anime. Ciao! It is 3 in the morning and I rambled for an entire hour about an anime awards show. This is my job.